Hey, Trisha just shared a post.
And we're live! Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Oh, I've got terrible news. We
What's
couldn't
that?
find any of that root beer stuff. Do you have any?
I do. Yeah, I actually have one here. Let me sit you down there first. All right. Okay. Here. Did you want one now?
Yeah, can you hand me one?
Yeah. Here you go, bud.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And it's even cold.
Oh yeah, I just got it out of the freezer.
Oh.
What do you think?
I don't know why we didn't do this sooner, but it's great.
Yeah, I should have just thought to just hand you one. That's brilliant.
It's true. This is Trisha.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm DJ.
Hi.
And?
Oh, I'm Bob. At which you're both supposed to say hi.
She didn't say hi.
Oh, sorry. Hi.
Oh, hi. How you
Leave
doing?
the light in here.
Light beer? Oh,
No, light in here.
light in here.
Light beer. Who wants light beer?
What? That's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, here. Let me move the camera closer. Whoa, hello.
Closer to me, or what'd you do? Spill your drink? I just gave that to you.
No. See the
cat is vicious.
Awesome.
What this is sitting on right now is a stand on top of our living room table, and the cat likes to hang out underneath the living room table and swing at us. And because she's still got her hook socks, it's dangerous. So she was going for my hand when I went for the bottom to pull the screen closer.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I actually I do have some bad news.
What?
The time that we have our show here is great. And my boss asked us last week so what do you guys think about working coming in Sunday night instead of Monday night? I was like, seriously? So they may be changing that.
Damn it. Well, here is some other potentially awesome news then to go along with that.
Oh, okay. Because it'll equal out.
Last week, as I told you, I was working at the plant, the postal plant here in Portland. Mm-hmm. And because when you work at the plant, everything happens at night, I was working from, it was like 2 to 10:30 or 11:30 or something. And then, basically I was going over midnight most nights. And after night one, I applied for a spot in the plant. So with any luck, I'll be getting a spot in the plant. But that's not even what I'm talking about yet.
Wow.
Until I get my spot in the plant, which I am still working on, the station that I have been working for, I got a detail, which means a temporary job in another station. So my hours should actually be pretty stable. So I think that I can work with other nights of the week.
Wow. Nice.
So if we need to, we'll see if your schedule shifts and we'll work from there.
Yeah, and it'll just be that one night. So I'll be still having to start getting ready for work at 9 o'clock every night, except for the days that I don't work, which it just might go from now not working Sunday night to not working Friday night.
Gotcha.
Now, be careful with your spot in the plant, because there are some man-eating plants out there that will just devour you.
This isn't that kind of plant.
Oh.
It's like a factory.
Oh.
We don't make anything, we just reroute it. Remember way back when we started
Tennessee 16, St. Louis 0.
When we started talking and I asked you where you work and you said I work at a stupid factory. Now,
yes, we made stupid.
The accent on the word I'm pretty sure you meant was stupid factory. Like I work in a factory that is stupid. But what I heard in my head, because I've known you for so long, was you work in a stupid factory, which is a factory that produces stupid.
We produce and ship out stupid, and we had like our business was doing so good because everybody wanted stupid. They just, you can tell just talking to people in the grocery store who ordered a big old supply of stupid, because you could just tell.
Well, the plant that I'm going to work in, if I get my job, we don't, like I said, we don't make stupid, but we reroute stupid. So stupid comes in, we process stupid, and we send stupid out to be delivered.
You probably work hand in hand with my factory then.
It might. It might.
Yeah. Which I don't work there anymore.
It's true. You do not. So I'm reading this book to the person sitting next to me here, and there was a chapter where they started talking about someone leaving Warsaw. So she goes, Indiana? And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure that's Warsaw, Poland.
It was.
And it was. But she was thinking of that.
I was actually just going through my old posts on Facebook here, and one of the things I saw was that same sort of thing. David Tennant, one of our favorite doctors, or at least one of my favorite doctors because he's awesome, he was doing a movie for a while where he was a spy, and that was in Warsaw, Poland. And I was telling my wife about that and, you know, how it's in Warsaw. And I thought that was so cool because I'm from Warsaw, or I live in Warsaw. And she says, you know, it's Warsaw, Poland. Well, yeah. But I had to explain to her that, yes, all towns with the same name are connected through magical closet doors. And she, like, I don't know why, this is why I post this. I don't know why I have to explain the obvious to people. But, yeah. So Warsaw, Poland, and Warsaw, Indiana, they're connected.
So Portland, Oregon, and Portland are connected through a dimensional closet door?
Yes.
Now, so that we fully understand it, so that she understands completely, is that a specific type of closet, or just any closet is a dimensional door?
They're very specific closets. You have to find the right one. Once you do, though, it just goes between the two of them. I'm sure that once you find the right one and you end up in the other town of the same name, it'll be easy to find it again because you just came out of that closet. So, and it also has hangers in it.
See,
like our closet has a water heater in it.
No room for the dimensional.
No.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, ours is just so full of stuff right now. I mean, even if it was a portal, you can't really get to that back wall. So, I mean, it might be ours, but I never tried.
This would be a great premise for a TV show.
Yeah.
Closet doors.
That's pretty cool. Going through the back wall of my closet would either leave me in Warsaw, Poland, or the bathroom. Yes. Bathroom? She thinks.
What if it ends up in a bathroom in Warsaw, Poland?
Oh, wow. Yeah, see, I didn't think about that. Huh?
And since we know she's off camera and can hear us now, just imagine me and Bob in the same room.
It'd be like just like now, but kind of 3D-ish.
No, I think that we're pretty subdued here. I mean, I think that let's say we show up in Indiana someday for a vacation. Trisha's going to have to learn how to get along with Laura because you and I are going to disappear into some magical wonderland, and we'll have it all on video because I'm going to film the whole thing. And
Bob on fire.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. Wait, is Bob on fire?
That was when we were driving around in the Trans Am with a portable tape recorder, recording like everything.
Except now we can do video.
Yeah, now we can video with our phones. We don't need that fancy equipment like we used to have, like, you know, cameras and video recording.
Right.
Now it's portable. Yeah, my wife is a social. She'll talk to anybody. She loves everybody. She's just like, hey, cool. Someone's willing to talk. Let's go talk. And I think that we would go through a whole bunch of these probably. I'm endorsing these right here for free through the It's Not Your Father's Root Beer Company. This is a free commercial for them because this stuff is amazing. And anybody out there listening who wants to support the show, go ahead and send either one of us more Not Your Father's Root Beer.
Yeah. The subtitle for today's show, by the way, is Hey, That's My Root Beer.
Oh, nice. Now, it doesn't seem like it's got a whole lot of alcohol in it, but I'll tell you what, If you drink 2 of these, you know that you've just been drinking alcohol. And if you drink 3 of these, you're like, whoa.
I know, it was awesome.
Yeah. It's not.
Oh, that's right. I wouldn't know. This is the first one I've had.
Well, I just explained it to you.
We're mentally linked, though. Bob and I share the same brain, so that's how I know.
It's kind of like when E.T. got drunk.
So then for now, I mean, you guys are probably both fairly smart at your job because you work opposite shifts. But if DJ starts working at night, the both of you are just going to be really dumb at work.
We would both have to share the brain, yes. I think that's how that would work. I mean, all I do is lift stuff anyways, so.
So at my current job, I do a lot of sitting, so I don't walk a lot. So I guess I'm walking about 3 miles total from sun up to sundown. And I'm sitting and doing a whole lot of report running. At the plant, if I get that job, in 4 nights, I walked over 25 miles, and I didn't have anyone run a single report while I was there. Not one.
Wow.
Now, I've been told that there are reports to run for certain people, but I've also witnessed firsthand that if you leave the floor, employees tend to go, okay, they're gone, let's go. What are you doing? People wander away.
Just stop working?
Yeah, they just stop working. Or if you send them from the first floor to the second floor, a trip that takes maximum amount of time, maybe 2 minutes, so 120 seconds. Someone disappeared one night, going from the first floor to the second floor. They were gone for 25 minutes and then took their lunch. So I wasn't privy to that conversation, but I would have bet it would have been something along the lines of, where did you go? Why were you gone so long? And how did that not constitute your lunch, having had a 25-minute break? The other questions I'm sure that they asked were, who is your daddy and what does he do?
Was it stairs or an elevator?
You can use both, but most people, I'm noticing, use the elevator. Except the guy I followed on night 1, who decided to run me up and down the stairs like 5 times. And the 5th time, he goes for the door and starts walking up the stairs. I'm like, you hate me, don't you? I don't want to go up there. He's like,
yeah, I'll meet you there.
like, I hate you. I hate you. I hate you.
Hey, I'm taking the closet door. So, yeah, I decided that there's something I wanted to make with the whole knitting thing, knitting or crocheting. I don't know which yet. I haven't figured out what the best way for me to do something like this. But one of the monsters in our amp guard thing needs to have, they got some really cool abilities, but they're supposed to look like bunnies. So you can wear like those little things that have the bunny ears, and that looks totally gay if it's not actually on Easter. And it's not that less gay if it is on Easter. But I was thinking if I were to make a hat, like a tan hat with like the long, like Jar Jar ears, that would be bunny-like. You know, like just 2 long ears that go down my back, right?
Now, have you seen Donnie Darko?
Yeah, Frank, the awesome bunny from there.
Yeah, Frank.
That's...
Frank. Uh-oh, I'm about to be wearing something.
Oh, what's that? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
There we go.
That's pretty cool. What you need to make for DJ is a mask that goes over his face that just has a big mouth on it.
Yeah.
It's like a mask this big that's just like a big mouth that you can see through. So when he wears that, he'll look like a frog.
I haven't asked her to do this yet, but I found on the internet the other day a crocheted hat with eye holes and Cthulhu tendrils coming down from where the mouth would be. So
I've seen that.
Basically just a mask with eye holes and Cthulhu tendrils.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It makes you look like the Ood.
There you go, the Ood.
Yeah.
Hey, she's going to retrieve something that I don't remember if I told you about or not.
Is what? I saw a Cthulhu thing yesterday that I posted. It was the we're gonna have to go to where it says Bob.
Have I shown you this yet?
Exploding Kittens. You mentioned it, but I haven't seen it yet. That's pretty cool.
Here, because I backed it at an early. What's that?
It's a Cthulhu for President 2016. The greater of two evils.
I saw one where Cthulhu's got his head down and he's throwing down his Cthulhu 2016 poster and he goes, you know what? I'm not even evil enough for the GOP. Anyway, because I backed this at such a level, I got a special box. Hopefully you can hear it.
Wow.
And
that's pretty cool.
That's the standard deck. I also have the not safe for work deck. It's not.
Let's hear what some of the stuff is on the inside here.
The not safe for work deck is not quite as not safe for work as I was hoping it would be, but it's still pretty funny. All right, let's see here. Which side is which? Hopefully it's this is the not safe for work deck. Okay. Without getting into the rules and explaining everything, I'll just read you the card. There's a favor card called Baby Robin, Your Best Friend. And here's the picture. It's that's how you baby robin somebody. You puke into their mouth, feeding them.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Then there's Katz Schrodinger, which is a person in a box with a cat on it. Let's see here. Bikini Cat.
Wow.
Let's see here. Overly prolific Mama Cat. Shy Bladder Cat.
Damn.
And,
I would like to get the Cards Against Humanity game. I think that would be pretty amazing.
I've never played Cards Against Humanity, and I don't think it's anything like it, to be honest with you.
It doesn't look like it's like it, but that's just another card game that I think that I would like.
How about this one? See the future. Attach a butterfly to your genitals and see where it takes you in life. And that's a card there. So yeah, those are some of the not safe for work cards. It's the safe for works are similar to those. They're just not like, it's not attached to your genitals. It's some other type of card in a similar fashion.
Wow.
I'm sweating and I don't want to ruin it. Oh God. Damn. Woo.
I bought this one. I bought this one for Ingress Events.
Oh, good thinking, because it's green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to represent the frog character in Hello Kitty, so frog Ingress.
Yeah, because the Smurfs call us toads, and we call them Smurfs.
I did not know that. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing, and some of them are derogatory about it, but most people it's just like, yeah, whatever. Where the fuck are our viewers?
Did you check under the cushion?
No, our cushions don't come up off this couch.
Then they're probably not there.
Yeah. So Secret Wars is almost over, and I'm very excited to start reading post-Secret Wars Marvel comics.
There's a couple Marvel titles that I've been wanting to take a look at. like I said, I was never Marvel's not my thing. I like DC, but there are some Marvels.
Thing.
What's that?
I'm just the opposite. Marvel is my thing.
Oh, right. I think the reason for that is the origin. Like Marvel, it's all mutations and like, well, they're not all mutations, but that's like what a lot of it was. I guess Stark had the intelligence, but there was a lot of mutation type stuff in, from gamma radiation, from different radiations, and a lot of it was just mutations. But when it comes to origin stories, I'll tell you what, man, I gotta get back to writing. I was so upset because I was writing on my laptop, and then remember when I was telling you about how I had water, and I accidentally spilt it onto my laptop? I lost a lot of stuff. I was writing like 4 different stories. One of them was a time traveler guy. We were talking about that. Another one was the superhero one that I was working on. There was one based off of the Gamma World role-playing game, but I lost a lot of stories and stuff that I was working on.
In my iPhone, every day since the middle of May, I have been working on little synopses of stories for different series to kind of keep the creative juices flowing. So I'm working, I started with some easy stuff, some stuff that I had a long time ago that I just wanted to throw some ideas down for and, basically develop out the crap. The longest running one that I have right now is my version of Doctor Who, basically. It's a regenerating, time-traveling individual who just ends up in places and does things. So I'm 104 stories into it or something like that.
Nice.
And it has helped me come up with other ideas, like time-traveling apartment building that was built by somebody who's hiding something. So it's not a Gallifrey Time Lords thing, but this dude built this building and then someone goes messing with the engine and sends them off into a place. And then he's like, "What are you doing? You don't know how to run the building?"
Huh.
I'm developing that idea. I have also used it as a test bed for synopsizing some comic book ideas that I've had. So I have gotten far enough into my comic book idea that I am going to start writing this series as a monthly series. So I am going to produce a 22-page comic book script. Well, the script will be for a 22-page comic book monthly. And that'll happen as soon as my schedule shows me that I can do this on a specific day. So a specific day every week, I'll write X number of these comic book pages. I may or may not attempt to draw these. My art is not up to the level I would like to see these stories at, so I don't know if I'm going to attempt to draw them, but the script will be there. And to draw you in, Bob, to give you some interest, it's a team, and the team is composed of a zombie, a werewolf, a vampire, a pirate, a ninja, a telepath, and a couple of other weird things. So basically, everything everybody likes in fandom, all on one team.
Wow.
Now that I said that all out loud, I need to put a robot on that team.
Every team needs a robot.
What that team needs is more. I'm glad that hearing that out loud made you think, I need more.
I've progressed in the story because I've always known that a couple of the characters weren't going to survive long-term into it. So I got to the point to where a couple of the characters have died, and I am introducing new characters. So I have added a samurai and a gargoyle. So
nice.
yeah, I'm working on that, and that's the first series of stories I'm going to work on is involving that team. And they're not superheroes.
They just exist in the world.
Superheroes will be existing in this world, and they will run into and battle some of these superheroes, yes. Think of them not necessarily as anti-heroes, but mercenaries. Think of them like mercenaries.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. The origin story is totally awesome.
See, and I wanted to do the thing with my... explain to me your time traveling story, just out of curiosity here. Then
my Doctor Who ripoff or the building?
The Doctor Who one. Because the one thing that I wrote for my time traveler guy was somebody asked him in the very beginning, aren't you afraid of screwing up the future? And his response was, no, are you? Basically saying that wherever you are right now, whatever decisions you make the future. And so how do you handle that? Is he able to change the past? Is he able to change stuff? Or, explain to me the time traveling theory that you're going with while I drink the second root beer.
Well, I haven't. The synopsises don't get into that deep of like conversation. So I don't have like deep conversation going on. It's more like a character shows up. Here's the other thing. A long time ago, this character, when we were in the Navy, this character's name was the Stranger, because I wanted it to be like mysterious, like the Doctor, just a title, not necessarily a person. Well, then I came up with Inspector, because the Doctor, when you show up, it's, hi, I'm the Doctor. Well, everybody thinks that's the title, so they're like, Doctor whatever, so come on in here and help us out. Well, so I came up with Inspector, because an inspector showing up, everybody's like, oh, it's the law, so come on in, Inspector, and inspect stuff. Well, then Community invents Inspector Spacetime, and that becomes the Inspector. And then I kind of wandered away from Inspector for a while, but I'm using Inspector because I don't think anyone's ever going to see this series. And I'm using it as a basis for ideas, just to churn out, just keep my creative juices flowing. So the Inspector has regenerated 3 times so far. The regeneration can go both male or female, so I have now had, I want to say, 2 of each. And I haven't gone with more than 1 companion at a time. I was having reoccurring villains, but I stopped doing that because what I noticed was the reoccurring villain synopses got really short, whereas the original ideas I had to explain more, and they were longer. So I want to wander away from that for a while, and then the big return of a recurring villain will be more exciting and maybe more detailed. But I haven't gotten into the super complicated details, though, but I think that the general theory on this is, if you show up to find out more about Jack the Ripper, for instance, you can't change what happened. Your involvement is what happened, and that's how it works. So
cool.
It's already happened, you're just going along with it.
I like that. There was something you just said there, and I lost what I was going to say. Oh, the reoccurring villains in Doctor Who.
Yes.
Even though I like the reoccurring villains, I'm amazed at how many times he has killed them forever. I have finally killed all of the Daleks again, and they'll be back later. He keeps killing them all again.
Well, and what I've noticed with my own is some of mine are basically, this is my version of the Daleks, this is my version of the Cybermen. I'm trying to do things like that. But I have invented a really neat villain, which started out as just a non-sentient weapon and is now turning into more of a sentient thing. It's a shadow.
Oh, dude, I was just going to say you need a shadow. I was going to wait till you're done, and I was going to say that. Wow, we are sharing a brain.
Yeah, see, this shadow creature is known as the Dark. Has occurred maybe 6 times now in 105 stories. And while I've taken quite a bit of time off, I'm going to take quite a bit more time off because I'm trying to put these things spaced out. Because, contractually, in order to maintain control and use of the Daleks, Doctor Who has to have a Dalek episode per season. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So that is why the Daleks
ability to use them
so often. Let's see, Terry Nation? I think Terry Nation, maybe. Whoever invented the actual Daleks, the family still owns the rights, and they said to Doctor Who, you can do that. The arrangement they've got is if you produce an episode, you can keep using it, basically. So, but my thought with that is okay, let's say Doctor Who says, you know what, we're going to go a season without using them, and then they lose the rights to use the Daleks. Well, my question is, what are you going to use the Daleks in that makes any sense without the Doctor?
Right, exactly. You would have to, yeah, there's no other show it could go in. So that almost sounds like a agreed on the point of view of the creator.
And the creator apparently is dead. So that's the thing, is it's the family now at this point. But it's that's,
I mean, there's a Doctor Who comic book. I mean, I'm sure they can use Daleks in the comic book or something, and it's still being used as a Doctor Who icon, even though it's not in the show.
I agree. I wanted to say that a long time, and I did this in the Navy. I came up with a way for the character to regenerate that I thought would be cooler than just the whole let's make a bright light on the screen, fuzz out one actor getting up off the floor and having the other one climb on the floor and having the Doctor change. So when the inspector's body takes so much damage, or anyone from his species takes so much damage, he starts turning into sand. Like he falls apart into a pile of sand. And the regeneration process is that sand reconstituting itself into a new body.
Wow. So he rises from the ashes all Phoenix-like.
And it also presents an opportunity for if you happen to walk out of this time machine onto a desert planet, you're looking going, well, this is either a lot of sand or I'm standing in a graveyard.
Wow. And having that, you can have it to where somebody of that race has died and pretty much given up on life for now until something new has happened. And then all of a sudden from the sand rises this new guy who's been dead for 1,000 years, but the new, one of his ancestors all of a sudden has an issue. So all of a sudden like, got to go back to being alive again. And they can just so they can choose to not regenerate.
Yeah, and I haven't thought about that yet, but the thing I have come up with is that there's no set limit for how many times you can regenerate. It could be once, it could be none, it could be millions of times. You don't have a choice if you change into a man or a woman, but you can't go you can only go so many times as one sex before you have to change to the other one. And then, knowing that, then, I mean, that's why you would want to keep living, is because you don't know if you're going to get resurrected.
Oh, yeah, you don't know what you're going to get. You might end up, that's one of the things I did with that story that I was writing, the Many Worlds story. I was writing a story, I had a whole bunch of different worlds, and every time he wakes up from sleeping, he ends up in a different world. Whether it be the zombies or the dead's walking, or it's whatever the world is when he wakes up. So let's say he goes to sleep for 5 minutes, he wakes up and it's a new world. It's, no matter how long he's out, when he wakes up again, it's that morning and he's starting the day fresh. With that being the thing.
So you mean like Groundhog Day, where you can do anything during that day, but you wake up the next day and it's the same day?
When you wake up the next day, it's a different world. I actually had them listed, and I would roll a dice. So when you throw that dice, he didn't know where he'd wake up the next day. But
I remember that.
Yeah, when he'd fall asleep, I'd roll a dice, and the next day, that's where he would wake up. Or the next time he woke up, that's where he would wake up. So if you only took a 5-minute nap, let's say you were in this world right here, and you took a 5-minute nap, you would wake up 5 minutes from now. However, how many times did you wake up in other worlds, because you would have your whatever that you slept there. So a 5-minute nap here would only be 5 minutes, but from the last time you were here. So you might have jumped to 5 different worlds, but the next time you come here, well, you're only 5 minutes into the future because you only took a 5-minute nap here. Well, the thing about that story is I had no idea what I was going to do with that story until I rolled the dice. There was no planning ahead. It was a very, very linear story based on I didn't know where I was going from day to day until I rolled that dice.
So and developing this because I don't remember. If I fall asleep here in Portland and I wake up in Tatooine 5 minutes from now because I took a 5-minute nap, and let's say I fall asleep a couple of hundred times, and I don't get back to Tatooine again until months from now, and then I wake up. Is it months from the last time I was in Tatooine because of how long I've actually spent not there?
No, it's going to be the it's as though you're waking up in different stories. So let's say, no, like the 5-minute nap thing. If you're only taking a 5-minute nap here, that 5 minutes is all that's passed here, regardless of how many other worlds that you've spent. And each one of those other worlds would be an entire day or until you sleep. So yes, if Tatooine, if you go to sleep on a Tuesday at night and you're planning, your alarm's set for the next morning on a Wednesday, you can spend 10 different days at other places, but when your alarm goes off on Wednesday morning in Tatooine, that's where you're at 8 hours later because you had your alarm set. So it was like, it's based off of like each one is a different story, but the one guy who's doing this jumping is the only one aware that there's other worlds out there because he's the only one doing this. As far as he knows now, he's not actually the only one doing it. And he is going to meet one other person who's going to be doing the same thing, but not in the same place. So, I mean, it's the thing that I think is really cool about that is the fact that I'm not planning it out. It's that day when you roll the dice, that's where the story starts for that day. And, so.
It wasn't on TV very long, but there was a show called Journeyman. And this guy would randomly disappear and hop into the past. And after several episodes, what he figured out is that he is there to do something very specifically for a very specific person. And he has to not only, so if he lives in 2015, he hops back to 1984. He's still got all his clothes, all his money, all his cell phone, which doesn't work because it's 1984. So, and he can't buy anything because then it looks like counterfeit money unless you've got money from the 84. But he's got to figure out who he's there for and how to help them. And then he keeps running into, towards the middle of the season, he keeps running into his ex-wife, which she also explains that it's the same thing with her because she used to disappear on him and he didn't understand why, and apparently that's why they stopped being together. But he keeps seeing her, and then right before the series stopped popping on, they meet in whatever time he jumped to while he's figuring this out, and he looks at her and he's like, "Who are you here for?" And she goes, I'm still figuring that out." And he goes, "You're here for me."
Wow.
And she's like, "Well, yeah, I am." So she's time traveling, hopping, helping a time travel hopper, and they never ended up developing it because it got canceled. But your idea there kind of works.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
The reason I gave it a shot is because the main character was in Rome from HBO. That was an awesome show.
Wow. Now that I'm thinking about it, what I'll do is once I get that other character, I'll roll 2 dice. One for the main character and one for the secondary character. And if they happen to land on the same one, then that's when they are seeing each other in that world. If it doesn't land on the same one, I'll only follow the main character because the other guy isn't there. So I'll only follow the other guy if they're in the same world.
But have a reason, have an alternate reason for the other guy being there. Like not necessarily following that guy, but maybe your main character's waking up to do whatever in that particular story, and the other one's there to do exactly the opposite, for instance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm here to help this kid win the Olympic race. And the other guy's here, I'm here to stop that kid from winning the Olympic race.
They had something like that in Quantum Leap, which is a great show. They had him. He was a leaper, and he would go back in time to put right what once went wrong. Well, there was also, in a couple of the episodes in the later seasons, the evil leapers that would hop around in time to set things that went right wrong. They basically like, let's go back through time and fuck shit up. So they fuck shit up.
The Quantum Leap had me come up with in my youth, I used to come up with a lot of rip-off type stuff, but I would develop it in my own direction. So I came up with a Quantum Leap type thing where this dude had to leap into the past, not into other people's bodies, but leap into the past or through time to stop a certain number of assassins from assassinating these very specific people. And there was like, let's say there was 18 assassins. I had him miss a couple of times. So there was like 25 segments of this story. And the more he used this time traveling device, the more he couldn't, like he wouldn't be able to stop, not necessarily like an addiction, but like he's slowly deconstituting himself every time he does this. So and when he discovers this, the whole leaping in, the mission becomes that much more imperative because I might only be able to do this 4 more times before I'm gone or whatever happens to me.
Yeah. I just see this picture now. It's a T-shirt you can get where it says, "Oh my God, it's R2-D2," and it's a picture of a Dalek, and it says, "I love him in Star Trek."
Yes, I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
That's how you offend nerds. It's like the picture of Gandalf saying something along the lines of, "I'm your father. Now go play Quidditch in Gallifrey," or something like that. Just a whole bunch of non-related things together.
The one I seen yesterday was pretty intense. I did see something yesterday that I thought was pretty cool. We were talking last week, me and a friend of mine at work, a guy I work with, about he was talking about a custom paint job for his vehicle that he wants to get. And we were talking about that and how that and tattoos should go together. So I'm like, okay, check this out. So like I'm a gamer. So if I've got the Harley Davidson, I'm a gamer. So if you have the Harley Davidson shield with a 20-sided dice in the middle, because I like to game, and then the Batman symbol behind the shield made of chainmail, with the boffer swords behind him, and I'm like kind of mixing up like all the things that I like. Is like that's what would make a good tattoo or a custom paint job. And I was amazed to see the very next day that there was a T-shirt that had the TARDIS, Harry Potter's wand over here, Gandalf's sword over here, the Starship Enterprise on top. Across the top of the TARDIS, it had Sherlock Holmes's address. That was a B22, whatever.
1G Baker Street.
Yeah, it had the address of his like above the on the top little line of the TARDIS. And it was like the same exact thing that we were talking about, but the little ribbon on top that said something or other had the Loki and symbol and the Thor symbol there. At the bottom, it had the flaming circle from Supernatural that had a pentagram in it, but instead of the pentagram, it had the Avengers symbol. And I mean, it was like really cool because like that's. You know, the next day after we were talking about it, here I see this. Where you're just taking like all things that it's like your passions. Because if you're not passionate about something, why the hell are you here? You know, you have to have something that you're passionate about. You take all those things, you slam them together to make them an uber awesome collage of awesomeness with your initials on it.
The wife is emptying the dishwasher and the cat's freaking out. Oh, she's got the... You know the little thing, the little tab you pull out of the milk cartons now that the inside, you know, pull the tab out and then you get, well, we drink soy milk, so almond milk. Well, we've been pulling out the little tab and chucking it on the floor for the cat. She's loved it.
Okay, so at work the other day, I think it was Friday. I see the one guy was on the forklift, and the other guy was doing this, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" He wanted him to tilt forward, and it's like, "So you're doing it like this? What the hell is that?" You know, because when we were in the military, the thing for tilt forward was, you know, this, tilt back was this. We had all these like signs. You had, you know, your like boom up, boom down, go. I mean, he had all these different signs. This wasn't one of them.
This meant something completely different in the military.
Yeah, but it was a don't ask, don't tell. So you couldn't do that even if you wanted yet. I don't know. But I seen that, and I was like, is that what you guys do? And I seen the other guy doing it like back to him, like later on. I'm like, that's not right.
I don't know if I knew. Well, yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah, tilt forward, tilt back.
I did learn fairly quickly that you do not turn a corner sharply on a forklift.
That back end comes around. Yeah. Forklifts are fun. I got to drive one. I drove one for almost 3 months that I was working here, and then last week they said, all right, well, you have to take a class for forklift. Okay. I'm amazed how many places do that. They'll have you take a class on how to do it after letting you drive it for months or years, depending on the place.
That sounds like the software that we use at work. I've been using the specific type of software. It's time and attendance control system is what it is. I've been using it since January of last year. I was really proficient in it, I'd say June of last year. And in order to get my own personal access, I had to go through this ridiculous 4-hour course.
Wow.
To learn what I already knew how to do. So, yeah, it, you know, I even said, you know, I've been using this for over a year, and now you want me to go through this? Yeah, we have to. You know.
Or being a supervisor and then training.
Yeah. I've been a supervisor for, it was probably 6 to 8 months, and then I went into the new supervisor training class to learn how to be a supervisor.
Okay, in my opinion, in most classes in most things that we do throughout life here, you should be able to test out just about anything. You walk into first grade and you say, "All right, we've got a list of things here. Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this?" Not so much a test, because if you make it a test, then people are bad at taking tests. But kind of like that, almost like an equivalency test, where you should be able to say, "Okay, well, you know all this stuff. There's no point in you being here. Move on to the next one," where you can take that test. And if you know that last stuff, and then you go back to the last one that you knew, or the first one that you didn't know, either the first one that you didn't know or the last one that you did know, and you redo that and you go into the next one. And that should be for the computer programs and for the forklift license, for all that stuff. If they were to say, "Okay, what we need you to do is there's a driving test first," or no, you had to watch the video first, and then you had the driving test. So if they would say, "Okay, we're going to do the driving test. You don't use your seatbelt, that's not against you. If you hit a cone, that's not against you. If you fail to do stuff, it's like, okay, you and you go watch the video, you and you go back to work," where you should be able to test out of things. Like, you already know this shit, carry on with your life.
Agreed.
Things will be different when I run this country.
Bob, 2020.
Yes, I do it for me. Unfortunately, you can't do that anymore. You can't just vote. You just can't run for. Well, I used to think that you couldn't just run for president until these nuts started getting double digits. Did you hear about that? A 13-year-old boy set up on the online D's Nuts as a candidate. DEEZNUTZ. And there are so many people who are saying, yes, I want these nuts to be president. That he's actually gotten like 22% of the pre-votes or some like crazy. It's double-digit percentage. The pre-votes is going to these nuts, a person that was just added by a 13-year-old kid. It's kind of like how Mickey Mouse has pretty much run the elections every year since like the 70s or something like that.
Mickey Mouse is the #1 voted for non-actual human being that runs for president every year.
Well, this year he's got to run for his money because it's going to be, these nuts have got I don't know, he's got a lot of followers.
See, the reason you're not going to run for president are several-fold. So let's start with the biggest one. You have to announce to run for 2024 in about 15 minutes, or you're not going to make the cut.
Oh.
Because the election for 2024 starts in like an hour. So you have to be ready to go in an hour for 2024.
I think I'm ready for it, though.
Second, you have to have multiple billions of dollars in order to run some sort of advertising campaign.
See, problem. That's what I have a problem with, is that you should not have to have money. In my opinion, if I had all that money, I wouldn't give a fuck about running for president.
No, because you'd back the person that's going to make sure you get to keep most of your money, which is how it works here.
Yeah. Yeah, I would not want to be president with all that money.
I saw something the other day that says if you're feeling down about yourself or feeling stupid, just remember, there's a lot of people that are going to vote for Donald Trump.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious on how it's going to turn out because now, like I said before, I'm not a voting person. I don't vote, which I know you guys kind of just like everybody thinks I'm like that's a bad thing and I shouldn't do that. But as far as Trump goes, Hillary should be shot out of a cannon into the sun. But Trump, he's a businessman, and he would run this country like a businessman. So I don't exactly know how that's going to turn out.
No, I think he thinks he's going to run this like an episode of The Apprentice, where he's going to start firing people, and it doesn't work that way.
I'm curious on how it's going to work if he does make it. He's definitely got a thing for these illegal immigrants and wanting to get rid of them. But the other guy, I don't remember who it was, but during the debates, there was another guy who said that if I'm, and he didn't say if, he says, when I'm president, he says my first week is going to be very busy because I will spend every minute of that time to undo every unconstitutional, illegal act that Obama has put into law with his executive orders. He says that's the first thing he's going to do is spend that first week to undo all of those executive orders.
And see, that's just going to sink his ability to be president because
even if the people want that, the government doesn't.
Right. Well, here's the thing that gets me. Everybody says that, Obamacare, well, you got the nut jobs. It's like, Obamacare, it's universal health care. You pass that and I'm going to leave the country. It passes. All right, I'm leaving the country. I'm going to move to Canada where they have universal health care. I don't like socialism, so I'm going to move to Canada where they're a socialist country.
One thing they got going for them in Canada, there's a movie that I had gotten called Sickos. It's a documentary about healthcare in different places of the world. And they were saying how like any medication is $10. Absolutely any medication at all. You get the little bottle, $10. The big bottle, $10. That must, it doesn't matter. They were all $10. So it's like there's no reason the teachers got paid more than the doctors in Canada and places where they have this. Like the people who are teaching you how to live life on your own get paid more than the people who are trying to just take your money from you. What are you doing?
I will back any candidate. I will vote blindly for anyone that bans pharmaceutical advertising. Period.
That is a big thing.
I don't care what else they do. Literally, they could say, I'll set the entire United States on fire, but I will ban pharmaceutical advertising, period. Because there is absolutely, positively, 100% no fucking reason Cialis and Viagra need to occupy 50% of the advertising on television, the internet, the radio, and anywhere else in the United States / world.
That's one thing that's very true. I mean, if you have an issue, you go to your doctor, and your doctor then can say, well, here's what you should do. I'm a doctor, and I get paid so much of your fucking money. The thing that gets me about the doctors is how many doctors I've seen that are willing to say, well, we'll run this through insurance. And if insurance is able to cover it, this is something that you need. How is the insurance covering it conditional to me needing it? Either I need it or I don't need it. And then we'll see if the insurance can cover it. If they can't cover it, I'll pay for it myself. If they can cover it, the insurance covering it should have nothing to do with whether or not I need something. That pisses me off. That was a lot that I see from the dentist has been really big on that, where the dentist will say, here's something that you absolutely need. We'll see if the insurance will cover it. If they don't, we won't worry about it. Excuse me? And it's like, either I need it or I don't need it.
But wait, is this a metal jaw, like trap jaw from He-Man? I mean, is that what he's saying that he's trying to cover so that you can bite things off?
That would be cool. There's a Gwar. Remember Gwar?
I vaguely.
GWAR. Do a search for that real quick there. And it's they were characters from it was a heavy metal band.
Yeah, well, I know of Gwar. I never listened to him.
Yeah, I didn't either, but they were big on back when MTV stood for music and not maternity. They had I'm looking at some of the pictures right now. They're pretty fucked up. But they did have they had a guy who had the giant, massive metal jaw thing. But anyways, they showed up on Beavis and Butthead.
Why is violence okay, but sex not? I mean, why are we such a prudish nation?
That's true. One thing I'm finding really upsetting is that so many people are posting online about how boobs are not a sex symbol, that they're for feeding children and they're not a sex symbol, which is odd because as a man, I like looking at them.
I like looking at them.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they are a sex symbol. The only people who say that they're not are the girls who show their massive cleavage and are saying, look at me, look at me. Oh, not you. You're ugly. You're not supposed to look at me because I'm not a sex symbol. Fuck you, you whore. You see that? That's like a common thing. We were talking about that the other day. I don't know why she just turned the TV off. But because she has to go to work tomorrow. There's the new breastfeeding thing that's happening that everybody's flipping the fuck out about. And they're saying about how, yes, boobs are not a sex symbol. And it's like, well, no, that's not true. Because as we go through life, not just, you and me, but I'm talking like historically, we would look at like women with the, night-night, hun, with the wide hips, as that would make a good mother. Those hips are for making babies. And we find these things attractive based on those reasons. It's like the birds that are bright colors. I mean, we look at these things because those are a way that you can take those. Yes, hun. I can do that. Yeah. You want me to turn the camera around? Are you sure? she's changing.
Oh.
And
Doesn't she like who she is?
I said, "Yo, yeah." She was like totally next, changing, and I said, "Should I turn the camera around?" She's like, "No." She goes, "I am not a sex symbol." I know, hon. But yeah, anyways, those things are something that we picked up as men. We found attractive, and then when we breed, those things get moved on to the next generation of females. It's how we're still alive. If we only took the tiny, petitest girls from caveman time, they would have died during childbirth, and the human race would have died a long time ago.
Which may have been better in the end.
Yeah. Lots of girls like it better in the end. Wait, what?
We've been on for an hour.
We have an hour and 2 beers ago.
Yep.
Those are really good.
They are, and I'll have to get some more.
Oh yeah. Cool, bro.
Yeah. Well, we'll try unless something happens the same time next week.
Okay. Yeah. So far, we're still good, and I will let you know via message or something when they are planning on changing our schedule.
And I will be surprised. And if that happens, I will try to alert our non-viewers on the internet, and we'll change the time.
All right, bro. Sounds good.
All right. For those of you that are not directly connected to us via video, the show is over for you. So bye.
Bye-bye.